Boo. Boo. I almost didn't make it to this stream. I almost didn't make it. I was busy. I can't tell you. I can't tell you busy doing what, because I promised I would stop talking about that. Today marks day number 2 of something a little closer to happiness. I wouldn't call it happy per se just yet, but it's definitely something a little bit closer. And the key thing is not talking to anyone. Oh my god. Solitude. Listen, being all alone. Bliss. Wonderful. Ah, it's so nice. I took it for I guess did I take it for granted? I don't know. I don't know if I took it for granted. I think society just tries to gaslight me. You need people, you need friends, you need relationships, you need this, you need that. You're a failure. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah. The problem might be me. I might be the problem. But I have way less emotional mood swings in isolation. And can that really be my fault? Wait, make it make sense. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing this because I realize my happiness and well-being is more important than anyone who's gonna crash out on me because I don't know. I don't know, whatever. Their own issues. I did a lot of things today, just like yesterday as well. Still working hard on a lot of things. Still, I mean, I could work harder though, but it's been a 2-day improvement. Got almost everything on my list done for today. Almost everything. This is really nice. Slept very well last night for a change. It was really nice. Oh, and even better news. So yesterday's wait, let me think about this again. Who else played yesterday? Oh yeah, Genji played yesterday as well. Yesterday's league was like a banger game with T1 and the Gromp Lord. But I was so happy today because I feel like a whore. I'm not a whore, but I feel like my mind keeps changing about who's my favorite LCK team and LCK player. And I don't know, I'm a sucker for like an underdog story. I fall for the drama and the narrative, and I am just like, I just really, really like Taeyun, and I am cheering and rooting for Taeyun, who got abandoned, traded off of his team, Nongshim. They didn't want him anymore. They thought he was the problem. They were like, oh, let me get me some of that Diablo. Let's get some of that Diablo. They got rid of Taeyun. They treated him like he was chopped liver, and he was actually kind of like, he was sad but understanding. Like he said that like he never felt emotions like that before. But yeah, he was definitely not happy about being let go, but he also understood that the team wasn't doing well and they wanted to try something new. So they let him go so that they could try to snatch up, Diablo, who was leaving Fear X, and they ended up doing a trade. And Fear X has been winning. Listen, they lost one match recently against KT. I'm pretty sure it was KT. Was it KT? I lied. No, they won against KT. Who the heck did they lose against? Oh, it was Bro. Okay, that's sorry. I got my lore confused for a moment. And that was a really tough one because Bro is another underdog team. Like literally, like it was like one of the most shit teams this year. In the LCK, and they've been making a great comeback. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water. But yeah, I was so excited and so happy. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, I was sitting at the edge of my seat. I was worried because, like, people were wondering. Basically, so Taeyun joined the team, and the next 3 series that they played, the next 3 matches they played, they won every single match. Largely, and Taeyun was player of the match each time because of his insane plays, like, and he just has really great chemistry with the team. But KT has been on a roller coaster. They went from being like undefeated in the beginning of the current split. I want to say, was it the beginning? Yeah, beginning the spring split. They went like 7 or 8 games winning everything, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on with them. It's just like, the roller coaster is headed on the downward spiral. But theoretically, the team hasn't really changed, so it's like there's still this really high expectation around them. And like, how do you go from being one of the best teams to then losing to some of like the lower hanging fruit? So basically, people were skeptical of whether or not Fear X would actually be able to win, or if they just kind of had a lucky first couple of matches because, I don't know, maybe they think, oh, they went against like easier teams or blah blah blah, whatever. So today was just beautiful poetic justice because the first series was Fear X versus KT, and then like after that, Nongshim was playing. So okay, in game number 1, they took out a support Skarner for the first time apparently. I want to say, definitely this year in the LCK, but maybe ever, maybe also ever. So they had like a tanky top, a tanky support, and a tanky jungle against Ashe Seraphine, which is like the thing that all the cool kids want these days. And then everyone's always talking about how much of a beast Taeyun and some others are on the Ezreal. So I think they all expected him to play Ezreal. But then yeah, he whipped that out. No, he wasn't playing that. He played a Mel. But it was such a unique composition, and it was just so fucking fun to watch. Like, oh my god, KT's entire pick, like, draft was, it's like this typical, the stereotypical, the tried and true, the favorites. Okay, these are the ones that all the teams are always fighting for. And then, yeah, Fear X came out of nowhere with the Skarner support and Olaf top, and it worked so well, and they did it, and it was so exciting. I just love that. I love it. And then even the casters were like in doubt, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And like they didn't even know where it was gonna go. They were like, "Oh, is that a Skarner jungle?" And then first they had like, I feel like they first picked J4, and then they were like, wait, where's this Gardner going? Like, who's going top? Who's going jungle? And then, yeah, at the last minute, they were like, okay, here's an Olaf. And it was just really confusing. Oh, it was so cool. It was so cool. Anyway. And then after that, what happened in game number 2? I'm pretty sure they put him on the Lucian. He's really good. He with the Lucian. But who was it against? Let me think. Was it Lucian? Was it Lucian Milio against? I don't remember. I watched too much. I watched too much League now, so my brain is a little bit confused. Let me think about this. I don't remember. I have to look it up, I guess. Anyway, so after that, bro, the team that beat them that one time, and I was sad. Also, Taeyun did get player of the match again. But yeah, bro was going up against Nongshim, and there was a part of me that's like, kind of, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not like a bro fan yet, but I do think it's really funny that they went from being like the second worst team to now they're just like moving up in the ranks. Like, they're on a win streak out of nowhere against really good teams too. It's very strange. They almost beat T1. But what I didn't want to see is, I was so afraid, like, what if Nongshim and Diablo beat Bro, the one team that beat Fear X? That would be like really bad for my own personal lore. But Bro overcame that too and put a smile on my face. I was really glad. Nobody cares. No one cares. I'm just letting you know I'm happy today. I'm genuinely happy today because I got to spend time doing things that are like productive and important to me. I spent a lot of time learning as well, but I also spent, the in between, the down times, instead of scrolling Reddit all day. Instead of losing sleep to stay up and watch the games live, I decided to start watching them like during my break periods, and that's working out a lot better. Anyway, what else do I have to tell you? Let me think. I kind of lost my train of thought. I won't do a long stream today because I don't do long streaming any day. Oh yeah, about stuff I learned. So I decided to drop that Richard Feynman book because it got really really weird at one part, like one chapter, and I was like, okay, that's enough of that. So I picked up something else, and I was thinking, like, what is it that I really like? What's disturbing me lately? What do I really want to learn about? And it's like, I want to learn more about electronic devices. I want to know more than just for the sake of like, programming or software development, because that's only one layer. And it turned out I have just the book in my library to begin to explore these topics, and it is called it's by Cunningham. What the heck is the book called? Something. I don't remember the name of the book, sorry. I really don't remember. I just know that he was teaching a course at Princeton, and I guess the book is like, it goes along with it or something, or maybe it was Understanding the Digital World. He described it as a book for like everything a president would need to know about the digital world, right? And I'm really excited. So the build-up is basically covering hardware, software, and networking. I think there's a little bit of stuff on operating systems in there. The only thing that I think it's lacking that I definitely want to do more reading on, the electronics layer. But I was really excited. So I read a bit about the history of computation, and it's like you guys realize the personal computer, the PC as we know it, is not even 100 years old. This is like, relatively speaking, a lot of the stuff that we're using is baby technology. Like it just came around. And then yeah. It's really cool when you think about how quickly, how rapidly the advancements came from, even if you go back to just like the steam engine and electricity to now and all of the implications, all machinery and stuff. And then it was interesting because I was telling you guys yesterday, I think, or maybe 2 days ago, that I think I'm a Luddite. And then I read about the Luddites in around 1811 to 1816 in response to improvements to what is it, cloth making machines, an invention of was it something with like a loom or whatever, where weavers were losing their jobs, and then you had a bunch of people who were just like, oh, we gotta burn these machines, and they were right, by the way. Anyway, also I learned a little bit about, for example, the basic architecture of a computer, which, I'm not gonna lie, for all my life has totally escaped me. I thought it was above my head. And you know what? I don't think it is anymore. I'm not saying that I have a really solid understanding and foundation, but I think I'm going to begin to soon. So, you have basically five-ish parts. You need a processor, CPU. You need some primary source of memory, which is your RAM. You need some secondary storage with hard drives, SSDs. That's three things. And then you got like your peripherals. So there could be like other components. It could be like a display, a keyboard, a mouse, or a touch screen, or a camera, microphone, whatever, other things like peripherals. And then you have something called a bus. Now, I don't know what a bus is, but it's like a line, and it connects it all together, like a line of wire that connects it all together. And I'm really excited because like I remember being a teenager thinking like, oh, it would be really cool to build my own PC. It would be so cool to build my own PC. And then I did like the most cursory like perusing, like looking up of like what that would entail. And I was like, these shits have too many letters. They have confusing names. I don't know what the fuck all these parts are, and why are they so expensive? But now I feel like, yeah, between reading today and then that one time on stream when we looked at pictures of like computer chips and stuff, I feel like I'm starting to get to something. I'm starting to get somewhere where like I'm having like a mental like more of a real mental model of like what things are and how they work. Sorry, I'm being kind of long-winded, but I'm excited for it because I think there's a common type of person that just wants to quickly do something for some output, usually for economic purposes. And there's another kind of person that wants to understand the whole thing from top to bottom. And usually the latter person doesn't finish anything because I don't know, because people, the idea of learning something from top to the bottom is a lot sexier than the actual working and studying part, but I don't know. That doesn't mean it can't be done. It doesn't mean you can't do it. And some people manage to do it. So, like, why not me? Why not me? Yeah. Yep. 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 I want to complain about big tech, specifically Alphabet and Google. I want to complain about Cloudflare and Meta, but I'll refrain for today. I'll refrain from that today. Is there anything else I wanted to tell you guys? Meow, 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 meow. You should play League of Legends. It's free to play. It's a good game. Actually, I don't know. I think watching professional esports is more fun than playing though. Actually, I'm not sure. Let me think about it. Oh, not just professional. You guys seen like Jinxie started playing League recently? I'm telling you, the whole world is just copying me. Listen, it's a conspiracy, but it's also true, right? Elon Musk copying me. The big tech always copying me, but it turns out also really popular famous streamers are copying me too, because like who else started playing League, like discovering it in 2026, okay? That was me. I did that. That was me. And now Jinxie out of nowhere is like, oh yeah, I'm trying this game because of my friend. Anyway, I'm not shitting on him, by the way, because I think he's made some really obnoxiously funny clips so far. Like some peaks that I've seen. But like, cause he's so, you know, he seems like an unserious individual who's really what is it? It's like absurdist comedy kind of. It's very hyperbolic, but it makes me laugh. Like it is pretty funny. Anyway, they're doing some tournament. I'm gonna root for Emaru because she's a girl and I like women. What else? Um, wow, 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 wow. Yeah, I feel like news headlines and changes in the world. They want me to be upset and depressed. They want me to be upset. And I don't want to do it. So I'm trying to find things that bring me joy, put a smile on my face, while still, you know, working towards bettering myself. Anyway, that's really boring. Let me share with you something from Marcus Aurelius. Practice the virtues you can show: honesty, gravity, endurance, austerity, resignation, abstinence, patience, sincerity, moderation, seriousness, high-mindedness. Don't you see how much you have to offer, beyond excuses like can't? And yet you settle for less. Now. Actually, that reminds me, also in Skin in the Game today, happened to get to the chapter that was also talking about this thing called virtue. And I started to wonder, like, what makes a person virtuous? Is virtue real? Who is virtue for? Is it an ideal or standard that has a place in modern society? Is it timeless? Or was there a time in the past where it made more sense? Because the I'll put it this way. I don't see myself as virtuous. I don't think I'm particularly virtuous. I don't see people around me who are doing better than me as particularly virtuous, and the ones that try to signal their virtue often end up, for some reason, I didn't do it, some reason, a lot of them are hiding skeletons, okay, in their closet. And then you look at, like, who are the wealthiest individuals, and by now it seems like wealth is a substitute for success. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Like, because, wealth and power. I don't know why we chose this, but this is the situation that we have, right? And are those people the most virtuous? Are the wealthiest people the most virtuous? Are they the most honest? Are they the most abstinent? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Are they like patient and sincere? Do they care about moderation? I think, what I'm trying to say is that I think virtue, if it exists, may not play a role in measures of success in the modern context. I think in a modern context, virtue signaling is more likely to be a sign of a grift than it is to be a true picture of who someone actually is. Maybe that's because I'm jaded. Am I just... Have I lost my innocence? Do I no longer believe that people are capable of good? I was reading something else, not today, but like yesterday, I think. And the women, air quotes, because it was Reddit, I don't know if they're real women or whatever, they were complaining about... Oh, okay. It was like a screenshot from someone who received a DoorDash, and they said for the DoorDasher to leave it at their door, but they happened to be getting the mail around the time the delivery happened, and the DoorDasher saw the person that the food was being delivered to. And then he used the DoorDash app to say, by the way, you look amazing, to like hit on her. So she got on the internet and was complaining. And then it's like a lot of people like just complaining. And there's this thing, right? Because I get it. Okay, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna upset and hurt a lot of incels. But it's true. There's something like this situation looking like entitlement or something like that. Like, there's a lot of, there's a lot of undesirable men, lonely, undesirable men, who think to themselves, like, first of all, they think, oh, it's too hard to talk to women because they always call you a creep no matter what. So it's not like the past. And, now we can't even approach them. So dating sucks or whatever. But I think also they can't imagine what it would be like to be complimented and hit on, like, regularly, suddenly, so they feel like it's a positive thing, and they can't wrap their mind around like why that's an uncomfortable thing. And on the other hand too, you might ask that, like, what's the big deal? What is so bad about receiving a compliment and just going about your day? And the thing, I guess what's hidden underneath, though, is like the danger. You guys got to experience this with me a little bit, right? With simps and whatever. Where, like, the problem with not having a negative response is you open yourself up to more, and then boundaries get crossed, and it can lead to dangerous situations. And it doesn't always, but sometimes it can. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I don't know. It was something I don't remember. I don't remember like what connections my mind just made there, but it was something I was thinking about because one, it does seem kind of sad that men don't get complimented more. It's probably kind of sad. On the other hand, on the other hand, it can be nice to be left alone. um, like being left alone is preferable to unwanted attention, is what I would say. Anyway, I'll stop talking about this. I didn't mean to fuel the flames of the gender wars again. This is why you have to stay off Reddit. It's dangerous out there. Oh yeah, that was the other thing too. Like, I think it's sort of unfair. It's like, I don't know if unfair is the right word, but something like that, where like maybe a lot of women, I won't say the average because I don't know, but a lot of women may view a strange man as a danger, as a potential danger, before something else. But anyway, I'm gonna stop myself right here. Let's not go any further. I think I've said enough. Um, yeah, I think I've said enough. I don't really have a commentary on this. I'm just kind of like processing it. Okay, bye. Wow, what an awkward stream. I've had more awkward streams than this, but this is kind of up there. I'll be back tomorrow with Senpai Noticed Me Sunday. I didn't do the greeting, I didn't do the stream, I didn't talk about anime, I didn't do whatever, but whatever. At least I showed up. I showed up, I showed up. Hope you have an excellent rest of your evening. I love you. Bye.